Hi, I'm Roman. My student number is C203-90201, and this is my Java Swing project. I chose Topic Modeler, and the goal of this program is to accept first two text files from the user and the top n amount of duplicates or common words to compare in both files, and an optional stop word that is added to the stop words default list, which afterwards removes them from the file contents. So with all of this user input, the Java program is able to display statistical data in the table. This includes the user-specified top n amount of duplicates found in both files, the file similarity percentage, which calculates by leaving the common words that are present in both files and dividing by the top n amount. And lastly, displaying the total amount of common words from the selected files. This is the Java Swing project program, and you probably noticed the logo. I designed it for the program and included it in the GUI. Also, I designed icons to give each button a custom look and a more user-friendly feel. Let's start off by first selecting two text files to compare. I'm using File Chooser for this with a specified path to easily locate files for this test. I'll just choose the fifth one and the sixth one here. I've chosen these two as I know that they have a large amount of words, which would be great for a comparison. So then the user is asked to input a positive integer to fetch the top n amount of duplicates in each file. Error checking is obviously in place to ensure that the user enters in a positive integer that is smaller than either file. So for this example, I will input a top n amount that is most likely bigger than either file. There we go, a lot of 9s. And like we expected, it must be a smaller number. For another test, I'm going to input letters or symbols. And exactly what we expected, it would only accept a positive integer. And for the last test, I'll just do a negative integer. And the same warning message. So it only accepts a positive integer and prevents the program from crashing. So I'll just enter in, I guess, 55. This should definitely be smaller than either file, and it is a positive integer value. That accepts it. So moving on, we could see a stop word text field. And we're going to leave it empty for now, as after the comparison, we could enter in a word that is definitely present in both files. We would see that in the table. So empty for now. Finally, we got to the comparison. This will compare and will give us the file similarity percentage, i.e. what percentage of duplicate words are in both file 1 and file 2. It will also display a evaluation with the verdict. So we're just going to press this. And there we go. So out of the 55 user-specified top n amount of words, duplicate words, 16 of those were present in both file 1 and file 2. And this results in a file similarity percentage of roughly 29%. So we should get an evaluation now. The verdict is that the two texts have a small correlation, but are still likely to be based off the same text, which sounds about right as it is under 30%. And the records get saved automatically. So during this comparison, as when I click the compare both files, in the background, all of the data was saved into a database record in a CSV file. Later on, I will demonstrate file persistence by loading the record in this table after terminating the whole program. Right now, let's just load the table with the current statistical data. And it's loaded successfully. So on the left, we have qualitative data in the two columns. File 1's top user specified 55 words are here, and so are the file 2's. So it's an order of the most common duplicate words in each file. So the word called is the top word in file 1, and Fluffy is in file 2. On the right, we have quantitative data. The verdict is the file similarity percentage. That tells us the percentage of how many words are in both files. And you also get the duplicate count. This tells us that how many words were in both common across both files, which is 16. So 16 over 55 multiplied by 100 is roughly 29%. And all 55 words, common words, are displayed here. Now, finally, I would like to demonstrate file persistence, and to show that, and to also show that I could add a stop word to the stop words list successfully and remove it from both lists, as well as from the comparison. So, first of all, I'll just terminate the whole program. As you can see over here, it's terminated. I'm going to load it again. And we have a fresh new session. But previously, the records were saved automatically after this button into a CSV file. So if I press this button, last one, it should display the previous records. Let's do that by clicking this button. And success! We have all previous records, they're all saved after the program was terminated. They're still here. So the most common word in file 1 is called, and we can see that it's the third most common word in file 2. So let's actually declare this as a stop word and add it to the stop words list. This time I will use the same file, as I actually want to check that the program works correctly, and so in the end it should display a file similarity percentage of 100%. So I'm going to choose the last one. I'm going to go with the same 55. That submits it, and this time we're actually going to declare the word called as a stop word. Let's add it. It all works. And let's do the comparison. So I'm expecting a verdict of 100%, and the word called is no longer in this file. in both files. It's the same file now, and that the duplicate count should be whatever the user inputs, as it's the same file and all words match in each file. And that's right. So out of 55 words, all 55 words were present in both files, and this results in a file similarity percentage of 100%. And the verdict should be different. It should say, this is the same text, and so the file similarity percentage is 100%, and the records get saved automatically, which is great. Done. So that's it. I included all additional features. That would include GUI improvements. So I used grid bag layout, which, let's demonstrate that. It keeps the positioning of all components there, and I have a custom layout. I also have a logo. I have custom icons. I have a GUI to specify the top N, a GUI to input the stop words, and I have a JTable, which would display the file groups, the similarity percentage, and the count of how many files are in both. And yeah, thanks for watching.